Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on the Common Seat Application System of Delhi University. Finally, action has begun, and Delhi University has activated the portal for registrations as far as admissions to the academic year 2022 is concerned. तो CUET का एग्जाम ओवर हो चुका है, स्कोर कार्ड्स आ चुके हैं, प्रोविजनल ही सही, you know your scores, and now it's time to apply to different universities. I'm sure in due course of time बाकी universities भी अपने portals activate करेंगे बहुत जल्दी, but Delhi University ने अपना common portal जो है वो activate कर दिया है, जहां पे अब यहां से लेकर के admission तक सारा action होगा. I have already done a video today. I'm sure you must have watched. Some of you must have watched it. जिसमें मैंने पूरे CSAS सिस्टम को एक्सप्लेन किया है, एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस से लेकर के जो अलॉटमेंट प्रोसेस है वहां तक किस तरीके से सिस्टम वर्क करेगा, क्या क्या रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं. आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड एवरीथिंग. टुडे इन दिस सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस एंड विल सी हाउ द फर्स्ट फेज एप्लीकेशन हैज टू बी फिल्ड. ऑफ कोर्स यू हैव क्वेरीज एंड आई कैन सी इन द चैट बॉक्स काफी क्वेरीज आ रही हैं, तो मैं इसको रिस्पॉन्ड करूंगा आगे चल के जब फॉर्म फिलिंग खत्म हो जाएगा. बट अभी हम लोग ध्यान देंगे कि फॉर्म किस तरीके से फिल करना है. टाइम टेकिंग प्रोसेस है, इट विल नीड सम टाइम ऑफ योर्स, बट द गुड पार्ट इज द लास्ट डेट टू अप्लाई इज 3rd October. तो आप इजिली आराम से इस फॉर्म को फिल कर सकते हो. As I tell my students every time, do not rush for any application form. And here, there are a lot of details to be filled, documents to be uploaded. So one has to be really, really careful. And when it's about the top university of the country, I'm sure each one of you are going to be very, very careful as far as your application form is concerned. So let's go and start filling the form. We'll try to understand how exactly the first phase application has to be completed, which all documents are to be uploaded, and in which format they have to be uploaded. So we'll just check that out. Okay, so the first thing is when you go for the common seat application system to complete your application, you will go to this portal, which is admission.uod.ac.in. I'm sure most of you have explored this already, and you'll see two tabs over here. The first one is a document provided which gives all the details about the entire process. तो ये जो admission का process है, counseling का process है, how it will work, that has been explained in this particular document, Common Seat Allocation System. इसके अलावा यहाँ पे एक link provided है, CSAS Registration Link 2022. This is where your application is. And you have to click on this tab to start filling your application to go ahead and start the process for admissions to Delhi University undergraduate programs. Once you click on this tab, a new page opens up which requires you to log in. But before that, you have to first register for the CSAS platform by clicking on this new registration tab. There are certain instructions given which you must go through. The fee has been prescribed. जो फीस है वो जनरल कैटेगरी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, जो ओबीसी कैटेगरी स्टूडेंट्स हैं और ईडब्ल्यूएस कैटेगरी स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके लिए 250 रुपीज है, और जो रिजर्व कैटेगरीज हैं एससी एसटी एंड पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी उनके लिए 100 रुपीज का एप्लीकेशन फी है. बट इन केस यू ऑल्सो विश टू अप्लाई थ्रू द ईसीए एंड स्पोर्ट्स सुपर न्यूमररी कोटा सीट्स जो हैं एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज और स्पोर्ट्स के ऊपर, उस पर अगर अप्लाई करते हो तो आपको एडिशनल 100 रुपीज साथ में पे करना होगा. So the first process is to register. The page will open like this once you click on the registration link, where you have to fill your CUET application number. तो जो आपका CUET का application number है, आप वो यहाँ fill करोगे along with your date of birth, and then you will fill in the captcha which is given over here and click on the register button. यहां से बहुत सारे इंफॉर्मेशन दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी ऑटोमेटिकली पिक करेगा CUET के वेबसाइट से. तो जो CUET एप्लीकेशन था, द वन particulars you had filled for the CUET UG examination, the Delhi University portal is linked to that, and they'll pick up some of the information from there, like your name, your mobile number, your email ID, along with your photograph and signature. That is why they have not asked you to upload your photograph and signature, because they are automatically picking up from the CUET Summit portal. Once you have finished the registration part, once you click on this tab, which is register, आपको आपके email ID पे एक OTP आएगा. The OTP will not come on your mobile. The OTP will come on the email ID which you use to register for the CUET examination. Go and check that email, get the OTP, and then you will have to create a password for yourself. And this password will be used later when you will be log in multiple times. जब भी आप log in करोगे तो आपको इस पासवर्ड की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, तो बहुत केयरफुली पासवर्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग क्रिएट करना और उसको याद रखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. So you fill in your OTP, you create your password, and then you click this submit OTP button. जैसे ही आप submit OTP button पे क्लिक करोगे, इस टैब के ऊपर क्लिक करोगे, the moment you click on this, you go back to the first page where now you will be treated as already registered candidate. So your registration process is now complete. Now you have to log in. अब लॉग इन करने के लिए फिर से आपको CUET एप्लीकेशन नंबर देना पड़ेगा. You will have to again enter your CUET application number, and the password which you created, that has to be entered over here along with the captcha which appears on the screen. So these three particulars are required: your CUET application number, your password which you have created during the registration, and the captcha which appears on the screen. And then you go and log into the platform. The moment you log into the platform, you will see an instruction page appears, which gives the list of the documents which are required to be uploaded during the application. Without uploading these documents, you cannot proceed to submit the application. And remember, this is phase 1 right now. The phase 2 and phase 3 will be activated in due course of time. The phase 2 will be activated once the result of CUET is announced. So both phase 1 and phase 2 are likely to run concurrently. एक साथ चलेंगे जैसे ही CUET का result आ जाएगा, final result आ जाएगा, और phase 3 बाद में start होगा जब आपको colleges allocate होंगे. Right now you have to submit the documents, but each of the documents are to be self-attested. इसका मतलब ये है कि you will have to first download your document, टेक अ प्रिंट ऑफ इट, उसके ऊपर आप सेल्फ अटेस्ट करोगे, सिग्नेचर करोगे अपना, उसको स्कैन करोगे, यू विल स्कैन योर सेल्फ अटेस्टेड डॉक्यूमेंट एंड देन अपलोड इट. सो द प्रोसेस इज, फर्स्ट यू photocopy your documents, put a signature of yourself, write self attested, put your signature, and then scan those self attested copies of your documents, which includes your class 10 certificate, mark sheet, class 12 certificate, the mark sheet, along with the category certificates, whichever category you belong to. Not applicable for the general category students, but whichever other category you belong to, you must have your certificate self-attested copy ready. That requires to be uploaded. Same is required for the ECA applicants and the sports quota applicants. After this, you will have to click on this checkbox where you declare your responsibility that whatever information you have provided, that is correct, and in case they are not found to be correct, you are ready to face the consequences. Once you click on this checkbox, the submit button gets activated and you will click on submit, and now the application opens up. The first part of the application is about filling your personal details, but your name will come pre-filled, your gender will come pre-filled along with your date of birth. This will come pre-filled along with your being citizen or non-citizen of India. तो ये सारी चीजें pre-filled होके आएंगी along with your mobile number. The next step is to select from the drop down. आप यहाँ पे drop down से अपना category select करोगे. The options given are unreserved, OBC, non-creamy layer, SC, ST, and EWS. So from across the drop down, you will select which category you belong to. And if you are applying for the minority colleges, you belong to the Sikh minority community or the Christian minority community, because there are 6 colleges, 2 Christian minority colleges and 4 Sikh minority colleges. In both the cases, there are one college each for the female candidates. Like you have Jesus and Mary in the Christian minority community, and you have Mata Sundari College in the Sikh minority segment, actually. So if you belong to that particular community, as the case may be, select appropriately yes from the drop down. Your email ID again comes pre-filled. You may or may not provide the alternate email ID. It's a good choice to provide. And similarly, you are required to provide your alternate mobile number as well. Not mandatory, but you should definitely provide that. And from the drop down, you will select your state of domicile. तो आप drop down से अपना domicile state select करोगे यहाँ पे. But remember, there is no reservation for any particular state, including Delhi. Delhi University is a central university. It follows the norms of the central government, which means the university is open to entire country and not just particular state where it is located. But still, you have to select your domicile state over here. Now, if you are from any other category other than the general category, select tabs will again open up as the moment you select that category. So any student who belongs to the non-creamy layer of other backward classes, the moment that student selects that category, you'll see drop down appearing over here where you'll have to select the name of your state, the community which you belong to, your annual family income, the certificate number. You must have your certificate ready. You have to mention the number of the certificate, on which date it was issued, and who is the authority issuing that certificate. So these 6 columns will appear the moment you select OBC non-creamy layer. If you are from SC or ST category, again, you'll have to provide the certificate number, the date of issue of that certificate, and the authority which issued that certificate. So this is applicable for both SC and SC student. जो ST students हैं, तो इन दोनों category of students के लिए ये 3 parameters appear हो जाएंगे screen पे: certificate number, certificate issue date और certificate issue authority. ये details आपको यहाँ पे fill करना होगा. If you are from EWS category, then you'll have to give your certificate number, date of issue, and certificate issue authority. Remember, for EWS category, the certificate must have been issued on or after 31st March 2022. तो अगर इसके पहले का सर्टिफिकेट है वो इनवैलिड होगा, उसके बेसिस पे आपको रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलेगा. अगर आप सबमिट भी कर देते हो तो जो फाइनल एडमिशन का टाइम होगा उस समय आपके कैंडिडेट्स को रिजेक्ट कर दिया जाएगा until unless आप क्वालिफाई करते हो एज अ unreserved category student. You have that much score. So if you want to avail the benefit, please understand, if you belong to the EWS category, this is very, very important. So usually for OBC category, the non-creamy layer OBC category, and for the EWS category, there is a cutoff date, and that usually is 1st April or 31st March. Here it is 31st March 2022. Then from the drop down, you have to select your family income, which should not exceed 8 lakh. The moment you state more than 8 lakh, you will be out of the EWS category automatically, because that's the threshold limit to be in the EWS category for a general category student. Remember, EWS seats are carved out from the general category only. The norm here is the family income. It has to be less than 8 lakhs actually. So 8 लाख से ऊपर अगर होगा फैमिली इनकम तो आप और ईडब्ल्यूएस के लिए तो डेफिनेटली कंसिडर नहीं किए जाओगे. इसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है उसके तहत आपको अपने फैमिली डिटेल्स प्रोवाइड करने पड़ेंगे. मदर्स नेम एंड फादर्स नेम विल कम प्री फिल्ड. ये ऑटोमेटिकली फिल्ड होके आएंगे फ्रॉम द सीयूईटी एप्लीकेशन. You have to select from the drop down the occupation in case of your mother, whether they are a housewife, they are working somewhere, government servant, private organization, as the case may be. आप drop down से यहाँ पे mother और father दोनों के केस में उनका जो occupation status है वो select करोगे. You'll have to type the office address in both the cases and the mobile numbers of your parents, mother and father. उनका mobile number provide करना है. if you are a ward of a university employee, जो University of Delhi है, अगर आपके parents वहां पे employee हैं, then you must select yes, because there are supernumerary seats available for them, certain number of seats specifically reserved for them actually. So अगर आप आपके पेरेंट्स, मदर या फादर एम्प्लॉयड हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली में, तो आपके लिए एक सेपरेट कोटा अवेलेबल है. Then there are other quotas which are available, which you'll have to select. These are all supernumerary quota, which means these reservations, these intakes to this particular category are over and above the final intake. So अगर किसी कोर्स का इंटेक 100 है, तो ये जो सीट्स हैं सुपर न्यूमररी, वो उसके बियॉन्ड है, वो उस 100 के अंदर नहीं आएंगी. दैट इंक्लूड्स पीडब्ल्यूडी, जो फिजिकली डिसेबल्ड स्टूडेंट्स हैं. Are you a Kashmiri migrant? Yes or no, as the case may be. Are you a children or a widow of personnel of the armed forces? इसके definitions provide किए हुए हैं. Who will be eligible? You can see that. In case of PWD category as well, you can see all the disabilities are mentioned over here. You will select appropriately from the drop down. Whichever is applicable for you, you will have to select that properly. Remember, 40% is always the threshold in case of PWD. आप कश्मीरी माइग्रेंट हो या नहीं हो, yes or no करोगे. Children, widows of personnel of armed forces, the drop down will appear like this, where priorities are listed. Who will be given the priority? First, the priority will be given to widow wards of defense personnel killed in action. So similarly, all the priorities are given over here, and that will be used during the allocation process in case you wish to avail this particular benefit of or this category benefit. Then if you are from Jammu and Kashmir and you are eligible for a special scholarship scheme of Prime Minister, you will select yes or no. Similarly, if you are a Sikkim student nominated by the government of Sikkim, whether you have been nominated or not, nomination बहुत important है. In that case, you will select yes, and then from the drop down, you will select your proof of identity. So school ID card, PAN card, Aadhaar card mentioned नहीं है, but the last drop down clearly mentions the any other government identity proof, government ID proof, basically containing the photograph, which means आप उस आधार को अगर आप आधार प्लेस करना चाहते हो, तो वो आप यूज कर सकते हो ड्रॉप डाउन में लास्ट ऑप्शन के थ्रू. And then you'll have to give your COVID vaccination detail, the number of doses, 1 dose, 2 dose, no dose, or more than 2 doses. अगर booster ले लिया है, तो more than 2 doses. Are you currently enrolled in any university? So obviously, the students who took admission in 2021, they are also trying to get into some of the best colleges through CUET. Last year, they could not do so because of their low percentage in class 12. They also have an opportunity. If you select the option yes, you are looking forward to admission to Delhi University, but you are already enrolled in any other university, then you must select yes. In that case, you will have to provide certain details like enrollment number or registration number in that university, name of the university and the college or the college, and enrollment year. आपने किस साल एडमिशन लिया था वहां पे, वो इंफॉर्मेशन आपको प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ेगी. Some additional informations are required. Are you applying for BA Honors Music or BSc Physical Education? Remember, in both these cases, there will be trials happening, और जो trials होंगे वो offline होंगे. Online का कोई provision नहीं है. The trials will be offline. You will be called on a specified date in the college premises where the trials will begin. In sports quota, only the people who have represented the country at the international level, like Olympics or something like that, they will be exempted, but others have to go for the trials. And then you'll submit, provide your address, the correspondence details, basically your address over here. If your permanent address is different from the residence address at this point of time, then you'll have to type your permanent address. Otherwise, you can click on this checkbox stating that my correspondence address and permanent address are same. Then you don't need to fill the particulars once again. The system will automatically disable that. This is your first part of the application. But you'll also have to provide the bank details for refund if applicable at a later stage. In some cases, if refunds are to be made by the university, maybe due to the cancellation of the seats or for some other reasons, this account details has to be provided for that particular refund. So you will provide the name of the account holder. अगर आपके पास account है बैंक में, you can provide your details, or definitely you'll be providing your parents' details, mom, mother या father, किसी एक का account detail आप यहाँ provide करेंगे. Name correctly as given in the passbook or as there in the account. With the bank, you'll have to provide the account number. You'll have to confirm the account number, and then you'll have to select the bank from the drop down. और जो ब्रांच है उस अकाउंट नंबर का, जो बैंक का लोकेशन है, जो ब्रांच है, उसका जो IFSC कोड है वो आपको प्रोवाइड करना होगा यहाँ पे. And then once you have completed the first part, which is personal details, you'll click on the submit button and a preview of the form will appear. You'll have all the details appearing on the screen, and then you have three options. You can either go back, look at the form, but you'll have to be very, very careful. You realize you have done some mistake or you want to edit some information, you'll click on the edit button, or if you are satisfied that all the particulars have been correctly provided by me and whatever has been displayed is what I intended to submit, click on the next button, and now you move on to the next segment, which is academics. Now, in the academics part, you will have to enter your class 12th details. यहाँ पे आपको जो name of the board है वो drop down से select करना पड़ेगा, whether it is CBSE, ICSE, UP State Board, Gujarat State Board, any state board, whatever the board applies to your, in your case, as far as class 12 is concerned, you will select that from the drop down. Then you'll pick up the status, whether your result is awaited or result has been announced, then you'll select passed. So as the case may be, from the drop down, you'll select that. You'll type your roll number of the board examination and which year you passed or are likely to pass the class 12 board examination. Then you'll submit your marks for each of the subjects you have appeared for in the board examination. Nothing called best 4, 5, 6 over here. You have to submit the details of each of these subjects taken in board examination. So अगर आपने 5 सब्जेक्ट से दिया है, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. अगर आपने 6 से दिया है तो आप 6, 7 से दिया है तो 7 का भी प्रोविजन है. Then separately you'll have to fill theory के maximum marks कितने थे, आपने कितना सिक्योर किया था, कितने नंबर आपको आए थे out of that maximum marks. Similarly for the practical and how much you secured for the practical. In case there is an internal assessment, आपके बोर्ड में provision है for internal assessment, then internal assessment marks are to be filled under the practical marks category. You can watch my another video on CSAS, complete details provided over there, where I've explained all this. In case your board takes into consideration both class 11 and class 12 results for the final computation of class 12 board marks, only the class 12th part results are to be updated over here, not the class 11. I believe this definitely applies to students from the Karnataka State Board, where both class 11th and class 12th scores are considered together to compute the final class 12th board percentage. In that case, only the particulars of class 12, what you secured in class 12 is to be filled over here. System will automatically calculate the percentage for each of the subject and overall. So then you'll have to fill in the details. आपको यहाँ पे स्कूल का नाम टाइप करना होगा, which type of school, private है, government school है, वो यहाँ पे select करना होगा. Location of the school कहाँ पे है, then medium of study, कौन सा medium था instruction का, English, Hindi, Assamese, Gujarati, whatever the instruction medium was, and then Hindi studied up to which class. आपने हिंदी किस क्लास तक स्टडी किया है, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You will select it appropriately from the drop down, and then you click on the submit button. You get another preview of your academic segment, which displays your marks. I'm sure you are seeing that hidden over here. So just like they say, don't ask a girl about her age. Similarly, don't ask a boy about the marks he has secured in any examination. So that's why I have hid it actually over here. But nevertheless, this is how the preview pane will appear. You again have an option to edit, go back, or move ahead with the application process. Now comes the extracurriculars part, the sports part. If you are also applying under the sports supernumerary quota, then you'll click on this tab. Yahan pe click karoge if sports quota applies to you. Otherwise, you'll move to next button. You'll simply click on next and go ahead. But the moment you click on sports supernumerary quota, then a page appears wherein you'll have to select yes, you are applying under the sports category. The instructions are given over here. Very important. The instructions are given over here. The certificates of the preceding 5 years will be considered because of the COVID factor. The certificates from 2017 April till 30th June 2022 will be considered in this particular case. And the list of these sports are given in the drop down. Whichever sports you are in, you are part of, you'll have to select from that drop down and click on the submit button. In case of no, as I have said, you simply would have moved ahead. इसके बाद अगर आपने submit किया है, तो next option comes is extracurricular activities. Debating, fine arts, theatre, music, all that comes under ECA. Supernumerary seats available under these category. If you want to avail that benefit, then you must click on this tab, which is click to apply under ECA supernumerary quota. Else, you click on next button and move on. The moment you click on this apply under ECA supernumerary quota, you'll have to select a yes over here. Select from the drop down the appropriate extracurricular activity. Creative writing, dance, debate, digital media, fine arts, music. Within music, there are 3 categories: theatre, quizzing, divinity, NCC, NSS, yoga, whichever applies to you. And then the subcategories will be provided for that particular category. आप जब subcategory select करते हो, उसके बाद you click on the submit button and then you move ahead actually for the uploading of the documents part. जो आपका फोटोग्राफ है वो प्री फिल्ड होकर के आएगा, जो सिग्नेचर है वो प्री फिल्ड होकर के आएगा. In case of general category and not applying under the sports quota or the ECA quota, you simply have to upload your scanned copy of your class 10th mark sheet, which also should be self-attested. Self-attested होना बहुत जरूरी है. Similarly, you'll be uploading class 12th mark sheet scanned copy, which should be self-attested. In case you are availing the benefit of sports quota or ECA quota, the certificates for that, the tab will appear. You'll have to upload the scanned copy of the certificates in that case. In case you are from a reserved category where you are trying to avail the benefit of the intake available in those category, you'll have to submit your documents appropriately. They need to be uploaded. The university portal has the format given. The PDF, the first link given on the portal, the PDF is given, which at the last has all the annexures, which has the format given. Please adhere to the formats which has been provided by the university. Do not create your own format, which may lead to cancellation of your candidature or the seat itself. Finally, you may go ahead and complete the form, or you may choose to save and come back later. You have both the options available. You may leave it right now by saving it and come back later to complete the final part of it, or you may choose to go ahead, click on the next button, and you'll preview your form, which will show the status of the documents required. Photo uploaded hai, signature uploaded hai, date of birth ka details uploaded hai, to class 10th mark sheet, class 12th board ka mark sheet uploaded hai. Category चूंकि general था, in my case not applicable, this is not applicable, but in your case, as the case may be, it will show a view button because you would have uploaded your scanned copy of the certificate. Similarly, for the extracurricular and the sports quota. Now it's time to give your consent that all the particulars you have provided to the portal or to the university are correct to your knowledge and belief. कहीं भी गलती पकड़ी गई तो suitable action as per the law can be initiated against you. If you are clear about that, click on I agree button and click on submit. इसके बाद the last process is to make the final payment. But before that, you will have a checklist appearing. Click on each of that. If your name appears correctly, if your date of birth appears correctly, your category, your gender, your mother's name, father's name, your address, and then you state that you have rechecked all the information, you have checked the eligibility criteria, and all the information which has been provided by you is correct. You can choose to come back, pay later, or you can choose to directly go ahead to the payment gateway. Once you move to the payment gateway and make the payment, you can make the payment online only, net banking, credit card, debit card, UPI, whatever case suits you. Once you make the payment, please understand, you cannot make any modification. The form submitted will be treated as final. आप कोई modification नहीं कर पाओगे. So this is about the first phase of the common seat allocation system, the form filling, the first phase. Next phase बहुत जल्दी release होगा इसी platform पे, इसी dashboard पे, where you will be submitting your preference of the courses and colleges which you are eligible for. ये बहुत important है. So regularly check, log in and check the dashboard. जैसे ही result आएगा CUT का, Delhi University will come out with that preference form for the course and the colleges on this platform itself. In your login account, the dashboard will have all the details available. If you have any, you want to know further about the entire CSAS, but you don't want to read the entire document, you can watch my video on this channel itself. DU Admissions 2022, know all about CSAS. I have covered every single detail about the process, how this entire system will work. मैंने पूरा कवर कर दिया है, आप उसको देख सकते हो वहां पे. That will be really, really helpful for you. So that's how you are supposed to fill the common seat allocation system form of Delhi University. As and when the other universities will come out with their application portal, when they start the registration, we'll keep on doing the live form filling for you. So you need not worry right now. Focus yourself on Delhi University itself. It's time to take the questions. DU में बीटेक CSC है क्या? नहीं. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में बीटेक का एक ही प्रोग्राम अवेलेबल है थ्रू क्लस्टर इनोवेशन सेंटर. That is BTech in Mathematical Innovation and Information Technology. It is not computer science or computer sciences. DU में अलग कास्ट सर्टिफिकेट मांगा है, बट मेरे पास दूसरे टाइप का सर्टिफिकेट है. बेटर टू गेट द सर्टिफिकेट इशू इन द सेम फॉर्मेट. अभी समय है, आप बिल्कुल आराम से इशू करा सकते हो. वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो नहीं होता है तो फिर उसको सबमिट करना, बट इट शुड बी प्रॉपर वन एक्चुअली issued by a competent authority. Very, very important. DU में state OBC certificate चलेगा, definitely चलेगा. The only point here is you need to understand that DU being a central university, most likely only if your caste category is also part of the central list, that might be only considered, not the ones which are in the state list. DU central university है. इनकम सर्टिफिकेट की डेट निकल गई है, पर अभी वो रिन्यू हो रहा है. जल्दी रिन्यू कराओ, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अप्रैल में ही रिन्यू कराना चाहिए था. DU offers BLLB? No, DU does not offer BLLB. DU does have a law program, but that is after graduation. After you have finished your BA, BSc or BCom, it's not a 5-year program which is offered by Delhi University. Okay. सर्टिफिकेट सेंट्रल लिस्ट वाले बनवाओ अगर पॉसिबल है तो. and if that is applicable to you. That's very, very important. At the same time, the format has been given, format दिया हुआ है वेबसाइट पे, annexure में आप उसी format को use करो, that would be better. DU में MBA है, yes. While this is not applicable for this session, but FMS, Faculty of Management Study, is one of the best institutions in the country. Delhi University का ही है. मैं OBC का, I think this is a common query which most of you have, or and otherwise the question has been repeated. देखो, स्टेट का सर्टिफिकेट लगाने से बेनिफिट तभी मिलेगा जब आपका जो कास्ट कैटेगरी है विद इन ओबीसी और एससी और एसटी वो सेंट्रल लिस्ट में भी है. अगर वो सेंट्रल लिस्ट में नहीं है तो मोस्ट लाइकली आपको रिजर्वेशन बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी एक स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी है, सॉरी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी है, स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं है, तो सेंट्रल लिस्ट में होना बहुत जरूरी है. मैंने CUET में SC नहीं फिल किया, लेकिन मुझे अब CSS में करना है. मोस्ट लाइकली आपको SC कैटेगरी में कंसिडर ना किया जाए. That will depend on the university, but anyways, students from the reserve category will also be considered first for the general category. So if you are clearing the cutoff of the general category, your allocation will be first based on general category and not as per your respective category. कब तक रजिस्ट्रेशन कर सकता हूं? 3rd of October लास्ट डेट है, बट डोंट वेट फॉर द लास्ट मोमेंट फॉर एनी टेक्निकल इश्यूज माइट इमर्ज. स्टार्ट द एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस, टेक योर स्वीट टाइम. बहुत समय है अभी तो ऑलमोस्ट 15 दिन से ऊपर बचे हुए हैं, तो आप आराम से फिल कर सकते हो. करेक्शन विंडो कब ओपन होगी? There is nothing called correction window this time. I don't think they'll be opening up correction window. अभी कल फॉर्म निकला है और आज ही करेक्शन का हम अगर टेंशन लेने लगे तो फिर कैसे काम चलेगा? I don't think the correction window will be opening up this time because they are already late. They'll try to complete the process as early as possible so that the sessions can start from 1st of November. कोई भी कास्ट सर्टिफिकेट सेंट्रल लिस्ट का होना बहुत जरूरी है. Can we upload the 12th mark sheet obtained from DigiLocker? No, because it will not be self-attested. You have to first take the copies, photocopy कराना है मार्कशीट्स का, जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं. आपका अगर कास्ट सर्टिफिकेट भी है उसका भी आपको फोटोकॉपी कराना है. फोटोकॉपी पे सेल्फ अटेस्ट करना है एंड देन यू हैव टू स्कैन एंड अपलोड. सेल्फ अटेस्ट होना डॉक्यूमेंट्स का बहुत ही जरूरी है. दैट्स गिवन इन द इंस्ट्रक्शन. No, obviously this is for students who will be seeking admission in 2022, not for 2023. This is definitely not. You will be appearing for CUET first in December and June next time, and then your process will start next year, not right now. Okay, guys, thank you. Okay, can we self-attest the copy of the 12th mark sheet which we got from DigiLocker? Yes, आपको self-attest करना ही है. You have to self-attest मतलब खुद ही sign करोगे ना. Admission के time पे the institution can ask for a gap certificate because your character certificate because of the gap will not be considered valid. तो जब आपको admission offer होगा उस समय the colleges can demand the gap certificate. सेल्फ अटैच्ड ओबीसी एनसीएल सर्टिफिकेट पर भी होगा क्या? बिल्कुल, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स पे आप सेल्फ अटेस्ट करोगे और उसको अपलोड करोगे. I have not selected OBC category while filling my board exam application. Can I opt for OBC while filling CUET application? Yes, you can do that, but they are likely to match all the details possible over there. All right, guys, thank you so much. So that was about the first phase of the CSAS 2022 application form filling. Next, they will come out with the preference come college selection, जहाँ पे आपको कोर्स और कॉलेज का प्रेफरेंस ऑर्डर प्रोवाइड करना होगा. You'll have to be very, very careful क्योंकि उसी के बेसिस पे अलॉटमेंट होगा. अगर प्रेफरेंस इधर उधर हुआ तो लोअर रैंक कॉलेजेस भी मिल सकते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ द हायर रैंक. So you'll have to be very, very careful about that. We'll do a session on that as and when the portal for that, the dashboard for that gets activated. Right now, go ahead, start the filling of the application form for the phase 1. The moment phase 2 starts, we'll come back and do a session on that. Thank you so much. Best wishes.